So here we go. Lee's incredible journey. I'm gonna scoot in a little bit so you can see the pictures. So this book is dedicated to my sweet grandmother, Lee. It was a bright Saturday morning on Old Swifton Road. Lee was in the living room reading, doing what she was told. Her mother said, "Go in there so that you won't bother me." She knew all Lee would talk about was paleontology. Lee loved fossils of animals and plants, but most of all dinosaurs. She begged to go to the museum to take some self-guided tours. But her mother was often busy. She ran a cattle farm, and her phone rang so much she kept it strapped to her arm. Lee kept herself busy learning about old T-Rex bones. On one particular morning, Lee felt extra alone. So she grabbed her backpack, her boots, and magnifying glass. She took a rock brush, a pencil, and her journal from class. Then she slipped out of her window as quietly as she could. She was off on an adventure down deep in the woods. Now, this is just a story, so don't try this at home. It is very dangerous for a child to go into the woods alone. Now, Lee was ready for an adventure with all of her gear, and she made sure to step quietly so no animals would hear. She searched and she searched for the perfect place to dig. But then she heard some footsteps from something really big. The ground started quaking, the limbs started breaking, and it seemed like Lee's entire body was shaking. Now, you'll never guess exactly what happened next. Standing high above Lee was a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Shaken and afraid, Lee quickly dried her tears because she knew dinosaurs been extinct for millions of years. Lee gathered all her courage, well, as much as she could bring, and she yelled so loud that she scared the poor thing. The T-Rex dropped to his knees and started to weep. He seemed less like a predator and more like a sheep. She rubbed his head and he started to purr. But in the distance, Lee could hear Mother calling for her. She knew she had to get back home as quickly as possible, and no one would believe her. It just wasn't logical. So she said, "See you later," to her newly found friend, and she was more than confident that she would see him again. By the time she got home, her mother was worried sick. As soon as she saw Lee, she scooped her up quick. She hugged her really tight and asked, "Where have you been?" Lee replied, "Just playing with my imaginary friend." Her mother said, "Baby, don't scare me that way. I'll make more time just for you every day." So for an hour each day, they sit together and study and draw portraits of dinosaurs and make fossils with putty. Now, if you ever hear a sound outside and think that it's a toad, it might just be the dinosaur down on Old Swifton Road.